Hello, everyone. Before I continue talking, please let me know if you can hear me good. There we go. I think you all can hear me. Hello. If you all can just type there that you can hear me, I'll go ahead and start introducing myself. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm excited about today's topic. I think it definitely deserves a time of reflection and understanding and knowledge and explanation. What are these things, right? Some of you have been watching. Yeah, I'm just waiting for it to load. I know there's a lag here, but I'm going to keep talking until I get the A-OK. You guys can hear me good. Okay, good. I got it. All right. Thank you. Yes, you've watched how many aura sessions where we talked about, removing implants, hooks, portals, yet we don't quite go into detail as far as what are they. I'm sure you've been able to recognize an explanation to what they are, but this is going to be really nice to be able to go more in depth with you. This information channeling should be about 30 minutes, and yeah, looking forward to seeing which one you all choose next. Very good. And I am also very excited. We have a couple different topics as we're choosing those individual topics, like the hybrid mothers. And then also, why are you gay, trans, bisexual? Some people thought that I was saying I was gay. I was like, no. I was, my twin flame is a divine masculine. Therefore, I do love my beautiful twin flame divine masculine Zen. So just confirmation there. No, it's a support basically video that I'm looking forward to do once it comes up for others who don't understand that, who are searching answers. Okay, very good. So just a little bit more about me, introduce myself quickly, and then we could go straight into it. I am Aurora. In case you don't know who I am the founder of A.U.R.A, Angelic Universal Regression Alchemy, Hypnosis Healing Technique. You can find those videos under our YouTube channel here under the playlist. And Lily, I'm sure you are there, if or whoever is there, as I do have as well. Minnie and Angelique might be there as well. If you all could type the questions, where. Okay, that way I don't have to look through all of them and make it faster for us. A little bit more, you can find me in my website, risingphoenixaurora.com. We have 3 aura sessions that you all definitely don't want to miss. They're going to connect with one another, the next 3. Keep an eye out for them. There are is significant to the earth and its ascension. And as I was having a reading today to one of those aura sessions that's going to come out, she had a follow-up reading. She explained to me how when you all watch these aura sessions, but just by watching one, it opens up so many different possibilities, and it helps you go through. It opens you up to studying. What did this mean? So that's what I really love about these shorter clips that we're doing and focusing on one subject, because even though it's beautiful, once you watch this aura session, there's so many different knowledge and wisdoms that were shared to you. You're trying to figure out, what did this mean? What did that mean? And, when this person, when looking for it, they didn't find anything on it. So I love what it's doing for us, right? It's like it's like a school. It's like a temple, sacred school teachings that we are learning through other people's higher self stories. And, we are blessed to have them and sharing them. So thank you to them. Currently, I am at my 225 session. Yay. Reminder also, we are coming up on the 6,000 subscribers. If you have not signed up to my website, Rising Phoenix Aurora, sign up now. All you have to do is make an account there. You don't have to email me or message me. All you have to do is make an account there, and it will enter you to the automatic raffle that's going to happen when I reach the 6,000. So we're a little over 100 away. When I reach the 6,000, I'm going to raffle out a free aura. which is wow. And then probably like a Akashic reading and so on. So you want to be part of that. Again, make an account on my website, and you'll also be part of the getting any new emails and updates. There's going to be a new email coming up soon about the raw house healings, which we're going to talk a little bit briefly about them because they need to be addressed right now with the implants. One last thing is retreat to Florida. We have 12 spots left. Come join us. You have about 5 weeks roughly left. Come join us. Come heal, come heal yourself in the Atlantis time. If you are here, you definitely had a life, at least one or even more in Atlantis. And this is the area that some of the remains of Atlantis that we're looking to heal in this time. And you'll also learn how to be Aura and Ra certified. And it's huge. It's huge. When you watch those Aura sessions, especially the ones where we walk with they were scenes and we walk with Jesus, watch that because I had read a comment this morning through YouTube, which thank you for that comment. She said she watched that and she said, I thought that perhaps I couldn't do this aura hypnosis, but watching that session really helped me feel comforted that we'll have a team with us supporting us, in which through that aura session you see how those two practitioners who are practicing are being supported through the aura hypnosis. All right, thank you. Okay, thank you for those introductions that are definitely much needed. Looking forward to seeing you all there at Florida. Come join with us. Come join. The stay is beautiful, and we're gonna have one whole day at the beach. Oh my goodness, where those very fabrics of those crystals are the very fabrics still holding as water retains memory. We watch my family and I watch Frozen 2, and these are some of the teachings too that that the angelics teach to me, is that water retains energy. It retains memory. Memory is what they say to the Frozen 2, and I love that part of it. And it holds still that energy. So thank you. Looking forward to seeing you there if you're going or if you're going to come. There's still time. The Florida tickets, airplane tickets, are probably one of the cheapest you can find. They're pretty phenomenal. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's talk about implants. So let's talk about, let me see, which way do we want to do this? As you know, I channel the Raw Collective, the Galactic. So let's see where they would like to start. So we have implants, portals, hooks. Let's go with the easier ones. Okay. So let's go with hooks. Okay. So when you hear us talk about hooks, and some of you might find hooks, especially when you start learning some of these sacred alchemy teachings, that though I was telling the students recently, is that Jesus, I knew that there were Essenes teachings. I knew from the beginning when I was talking to them, when I was talking to the angelics, especially Jesus, and they were helping me, create these sacred alchemy teachings and remember. It's a remembering them so that we could bring them to you all, because this is how we gain this knowledge of the implants, portals, and hooks. This is how we learned how to work with them and then help ascension overall, whoever was coming to us, and how to help them remove themselves from a ongoing simulation of the AI matrix through these teachings. And I just never wanted to say it, just because I don't like to place any teachings in a pedestal. And I felt like if I said, okay, this is the Essenes teachings, that's why I just always just call it, Egyptian, Atlantean teachings. But truly, they are definitely from the Essenes. Some of the Atlantean energies that were teachings that were brought over to the Essenes, and they were taught there in the scenes where, as we know, if you haven't watched those channelings, you want to watch Mother Mary, that transitions into Jesus channeling, where they talk about some of these connections of the scenes. And then through that aura regression where they walk with Jesus, Kay and Gladys, they talk about as they're talking through a somnambulist, and I had never shared this ever with anyone, not even my students yet, that they were teaching the scenes. Archangel Metatron is talking through that, through Kay, who is a somnambulistic, who doesn't remember anything when she comes to, and you can watch that. It's quite joyous. So thank you for these teachings that that the Essenes, that the Elohim, that the Atlanteans, our ancestors have, from beyond the veil, our Elohim. they're so significant to us in the ascension through our purification process, through our cleansing, because that's what we're trying to do by finding hooks, implants, portals. We are trying to raise our frequency, our vibration, helping us get closer to that 51 percentile to reach to the ascension process into the 5D, that portal that we talk about, entering to your heart, that portal to ascension into the new earth, into the 5D. Okay, so yes, let's talk about hooks. Now, what we found with the majority of hooks that will be found will be reptilian consciousness. Some of those stories that you can find, if you are new to our channel, you can find that this information where a bit of a process of how Aura was developed was in one of the recent Dolores Canon, where we talk about our galactic connection. Okay, so you can check that under the Dolores Cannon playlist that I have there for you all. Okay, now it is with the aura regression at, like I mentioned, 225 sessions. We learned every single session more and more, and then we were taught every session how to put these pieces together. So right now we are in a very structured foundation, very stable foundation, where we are now learning how to find these pieces and then bring them forth into healing to help the client that are bringing them to us. Okay, so if you have any questions, definitely type them there. So I'm going to spend a good 10-15 minutes touching the about, so let me know if I have any questions on hooks right now. This is, we're going to go over them. Okay, so yes, we have found them mostly with reptilian consciousness or a collective consciousness of entities. What happens is that when the client is trying to raise their frequency, and that could be through meditation, it could be through a Kundalini rising, it could be through a DNA reprogrammation that they're going through with their own ascension process, working in their energies overall, and what many different types of brainwaves of theta, delta brainwave when you're sleeping, all these different hypnosis brainwaves that you're actively working with your higher self, and your guides and your angels and your benevolent soul galactic families. So as you're trying to work with your energetic body and you're trying to retain it back to the crystalline body, which you can watch that. I did have another one of these videos where we go into depth of what that is. As you're trying to raise that, what happens is that so long as your body holds too much of a density, it won't be able to raise its vibration. So when you are holding reptilian consciousness, what they've put a piece of them into you so that they can maintain their food source, because what happens is that they can't quite produce the light for themselves. And you can watch several auras where we talk about that, particularly the 12 elder auras. They go in depth with that. So they need a food source. That is the way that they were created, through a AI type of formation through the archons. Okay, so when they need a feeding, otherwise they would diminish it, eventually excruciating pain, stagnant energy, where they wouldn't be able to, they'd be kind of frozen in time in this pain and nothingness and numbness altogether, is what they explained to me. Okay, so that's why we're helping through Aura. We're trying to help them ascend, because the less of time, less need that they will have to have to insert hooks. So as the client, as you are trying to raise your vibration, raise your Kundalini, raise your energy, raise your force fields, raise your toroidal sphere, your frequency, your vibration, right? Your density. They contain the density within you, so you can't raise it. It is hard. You try your best, you feel blocked. No matter how hard you try, you feel like, what is wrong with me? I'm working so hard and I can't raise my density. So those collective of entities or reptilians within you would basically, it's like a cord wire type of energy that would hook onto your energy body, because that's what we're working with when we heal you, is your energy body that connects still to the physical body. Now, with that, I always have to say that, I'm not a licensed physician, so, you know, um, yeah, legally, okay? So with that, it is holding on to your energies, and it can hold to some illness, disease, and so on. So it's maintaining you in the lower density frequency so that you can't heal from whatever illness, disease, sickness that you're having, because these can only remain in you if you have to hold the heavier density. So when this person is trying to transmute and cleanse and heal themselves and lift their vibration, the hook's jobs is like a negative technology, is to keep them there. So no matter how much they transmute and heal, the hooks will keep that collective of entities there, will keep that reptilian there. There. It will not let them be removed. Okay, so then that's why we need to, when we go with the aura, we find the hooks, and then we start transmuting and removing them out, because once you unhook them, you transmute them out, then we can start working with whatever is attached to that hook. Okay, so let's see what questions you have on hooks. The simplest thing there that we'll be talking about. Yeah, I don't see Lily on here, so maybe she's busy, so I'll just go through it briefly and see. And it's easier if you have a question right in front, because I can locate it faster like that. Bear with me as I run through quickly. Okay, so Claudette has a question, which is a really good question. Can we remove these hooks or implants ourselves? Absolutely. We always give encouragement that you can most definitely, yes, remove them. You would need to work through alchemy, sacred alchemy, remembrance. Remember, we are a very, very beautiful piece of alchemy creation ourselves. In order for us to be here, we're manifested through a flamed etheric energy, through elements through star energy, we are a multitude of these different elements. Etheric energy, the etheric energy of the darkness, the star energy of the brightness, the elements of the earth, fire, wind, spirit, these different elements that we don't even know of. We're bioplasmic energy. We are, love. Most importantly, that's our number one fabric of creation of us. Therefore, all these different pieces we are an alchemy of different geometric and alchemy symbols converted into one with all these different elements. Beautiful. It's like a like a kaleidoscope. Should I explain? It's like I see it in my imagination, but it's like a beautiful creation, a kaleidoscope of different symbols and alchemy, just creating into a beautiful soul. It takes much to create a soul. So with this is that we teach since we are this beautiful alchemy creation, is that alchemy itself. And in case you want to find alchemy teachings for that, I do have Patreon where I host classes, and you can find any of these classes now under my website. So you can remove them. Some definitely hooks you would need to use, as you've seen through my aura sessions, we use a lot of the Phoenix fire energy. So you would need to be attuned to them. And we do attune you through A.U.R.A and A.U.R.A certifications, the Phoenix fire. Okay, and there's the magical creatures class, alchemy class that I have, that does also attune you through the Phoenix fire, since the Phoenix is a magical creature. Okay, so those are 3 options there. That is the only thing that can remove. And no, there are other things, but that is the most powerful and the fastest if you want to unhook and transmute out a hook. Same thing for the implants. and the negative implants. Okay. What happens is that our very soul, as we talked about prior, is like a beautiful flame, etheric energy. That's the way it looks. So with that is that this, this very fabric of this creation is very much like love, like a purification of love and flame type of energy, etheric energy. Okay. Now, let's see. That's the hooks. Okay, Lily's here. Thank you, Lily. And that's for hooks. You could definitely remove them yourself. I give confidence for you. And watch some of our spiritual development. I have a playlist under spiritual development that might give you some of these pieces that you're looking to remove them. But if not, we have the certifications that are in depth. The Aura and the Raw combination together are good, about 80 pages worth of teachings. That's a lot. But it's not overwhelmingly a lot. It's so beautifully created and channeled through, where it gives you piece by piece in an organized, detailed manner. Okay. Now let's see if there's any other questions about hooks though, before I move on to implants. Some of you who have come to me have had come to me for like A.U.R.A, which A.U.R.A is very phenomenal as well. It is a way that you can just channel the energy of the infinite quantum healing love light energy, like we do with A.U.R.A, except for it's not hypnosis. And it's a way to bridge. I think every parent should have a form of raw Reiki angelic universal regression, Reiki angelic alchemy healing, because it is a beautiful way where we heal ourselves, we heal our children, and we heal our families. And then we have the house cleansings, which we're going to go into. But going into implants, before we go into the house cleansings, what implants are is that they are negative technology that could be seen through it. Some of them are physical and some of them are etheric technology that would be placed into your energy body. So whenever we lower our density low enough is when some of these implants come into the energy force field. So that's like the role that they're playing. It's like they lower our frequency enough so that we could be at the low enough density, so now they can insert an implant. That's why we have so much chaos, going on sometimes in our lives. We had quantum kids. We had a child talking to us recently, and I will share what he said with you all. He said that, and this is really important for you all to know, because this child, the parent never talks to them about this, and through quantum kids and Reiki for kids that I offer, I never talk to them about things like that. I'm very careful. I just want to be very cautious. We don't talk about anything like really scary like that. But for some reason, this child has this knowledge beyond some of us, right? So let's see. He comes on and he explains that he was watching his higher self was talking to him about some of the spaceships that are going on, and he was saying, did you know that there's spaceships that actually just go through all Earth and they scan your whole home? They go through and scan your home, your room, every single person you are there, and then they look for any of the ones that have the brightest lights, and then they is what he was saying. So I'm repeating his words, and then they go for the ones with the brightest lights after they scan the homes and they locate them. And the ones that have the brightest lights, then they target them to what are the words he said? He said it like he's a child. So he said to make their days bad, something like that. I can't remember. Let me know, Lily. But because she was there, she heard it too. um to make their day, yeah, like have, a bad day, to, in other words, to create chaos in their lives, negative energies, negative thought forms, you could say bad luck is what he was trying to say. So then they infringe upon the energies of these people who are the highest lights upon earth, and then they're affected by it. Now their so beautiful day that they were trying to have, now it is much easier for them um to basically mess with their frequency. It's like they're focusing on them and they're sending them the negative brainwaves technology onto them just by scanning and locating them. Okay. So this is what we teach through the sacred alchemy, is that basically, so that they won't have as easy permission to do that to you and your loved ones and in your homes. So we teach symbol energy, how to use with force fields, sacred teachings with alchemy symbols. And that basis starts off with, if you want to go directly to that class, is the quantum alchemy channeling, because before you channel, you need to know all these basics before you jump in. It's quite dangerous. Okay. So I thought that was amazing to hear that from a child. I was like, wow. And definitely was needed to know. Okay. Okay, so yes, that's that. So then the implants, going back to the implants, is that we are, so then the implant's job is like it holds a frequency. So when some of these dark towers that we talked about through aura regression and different channelings, and some of these negative technologies like the negative spaceships or any negative technology out there that they have, the waves that are sent to you are meant to keep you. Thank you, Lily. I'm getting your questions. Okay. Meant to keep you with, so it's a negative technology to meant to keep you in the lower density. So it is similar to the hook, but much more in depth. Some of these implants are, we talk about them through aura and raw, so you would have to take those classes to understand them, but they're really in depth. They would take a very large amount of love light assistance with a brainwave of hypnosis, theta brainwave, and someone, a healer that is in a heart frequency, assisting you in holding that frequency. And then the only way, like you've seen through aura, is to transmute those implants is through phoenix fire energies, attunement, and using those. Okay. So it is like basically it sends out, it connects to those negative technologies, and then it's in your body. So then it keeps your frequency low, 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 low. It raises, you try to raise it, but it can't because it's holding it low, blocking, keeping it there in different types of forms of blockages within you. And it's like also it itself is sending out waves from the inside of you, like frequencies from the inside of you that is keeping you there too, keeping you in not loving yourself. In, if you have trauma or PTSD, it will keep you there, repeating that PTSD over and over, that trauma, and you can't figure out why you can't get out of that trauma. Like no matter how many times you healed that and you think you've gone over it, it's because that implant is keeping it and repeating you that that frequency is being sent there and it's not letting you heal it. Okay. And let me know if you guys have any other questions on implants. Lily is giving them to me. Okay, so good question. Do hooks, portals, implants, which we're going to touch portals in a minute. And we're going to try to end this in the next 5 minutes. And I'm sure some of you are like, yeah, right, because I always like, go way more. But yes, so hooks, portals, implants start off. Do they start off with a thought form which builds into a energy and its manifestation implanted? Yeah, definitely could start off with with a thought form, because, like the child said, is that they're feeding you thought forms of trying to mess with your light, infringe upon your light. So then when it lowers it, then yeah, it's all about the thought forms, training yourself. That's why meditation is so strong. Being diligent with your with your meditation, with maintaining your thought forms as high as possible. Though we can't be perfect, but we always teach. You can have a bad day. Just ask for your higher self to surround you with love light while you're having that bad day, so you won't be infringed upon while you're having that bad moment. Yes, it starts off with the negative thought form. So that's the whole job, where they make you eat bad food, sugar. It's all part of that. Chemtrails, all that's part of that, to lower your frequency. Because then thought form is the greatest creational energies that we have, right? Good question. Okay, next question. How would it feel to have an implant or hook within? If so, we have an idea what it feels like. Okay, so a hook, it feels like a bit of a pain, like a bit of a nuisance, like a irritation. Like there's something there and you can't quite figure it out. And then an implant feels like pain. It would register into, like, there's a pain. Say you have an implant in your toe, and something weird. Like there's a pain in your toe, and no matter how many times you may massage it or heal it, like there's still that pain still remaining there. You know? It feels like, okay, when there is like an implant would feel like, it can get painful, because it could feel like, say you have a soda pop and you're shaking it, right? You shake it, and then it's 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 like a buildup of energy, right? And then it's like stuck here and it can't explode out or emanate out or flourish out divinely. That's what it would feel like. So basically, it becomes painful, because now that energy that you are trying to flourish out organically is meant to be, you know, going out organically. Hold on one second. Now it's stuck there, and it could feel like a soda pop wanting to burst out, but it can't, because the cap is still there. There you go. That's a good explanation. Thank you, Ra. The cap is still there, and it's holding that buildup of energy, and it's giving you headaches. It could feel like headaches too, like a buildup of energy. Like if you have an implant in the head, headaches. It could also feel like a sinus infection, allergies, if you have one in your third eye. So many different things here that we could talk about. Again, take the teachings if you want to learn more about it. Okay, so those are some ways that you can feel. If we are afraid we might get a hook or implant, does that open us up to actually getting one? If you are afraid that you might get one, you most likely already have one. It's a soul recognition, like, well, what if I get one? Then you might already have one, or you might not. So if you feel fear, um, again, we just try to give you different things that could happen. If you feel fear about it, just that second you call on your higher self, like, hey, I'm feeling this fear. Surround me with a bubble of love light, just like Jesus Yeshua talked about it, how he healed with this infinite love light source energy. Surround me with a bubble of love light, and then you don't have to worry about it. It's like a filter, right? It's like you put a water filter, right? When you're doing it, say a water filter, and you go to clean that water filter. That water filter, when you bring it out, it's like, ew. It's like all this gooey, dark stuff in it. It's like, ew. So That's what happens when you're surrounding yourself with force fields of love, light shielding, whatever you want to call it. So it's filtering out some of that gooey, nasty stuff that you don't want to come into your auric field and who you are. And by that, you're not only aiding yourself, you're aiding the home, you're aiding your family. Okay. So no, it depends. Are you constantly thinking about it? Are you staying in that lower frequency and not calling for aid from your higher self? Then if you are keeping yourself there, then it can, yes, open it up, but that's with everything. Anything you find fear on it, which this is awareness for you so that you won't find fear. So you can feel empowered and be like, oh, I know what it is. I recognize it, you know, let go of some of that fear. Some people have excess fear though, because they have entities and implants in the base chakra that's keeping the fear. Okay, so that's a possibility too. Do implants get infused to our soul? They don't get infused to your soul, but they would get infused to your etheric body, the one that is up there, keeping you here, the one that you're connected to. That would you would have to become certified to find out what that has to do with the matrix presentation that I talked about in depth about what the matrix is. And unfortunately, I'm not allowed to teach that right yet to the public, only through my Aura certification, my Aura certification through the retreats. Okay. Once you're cleared of hooks and implants, what can we do to keep them out? So once you're cleared of them, is basically surrounding yourself with force fields of love, light, a constant healing of yourself, honoring yourself, respecting your body, your mind, body, and soul, scanning your body. There's a short clip on Rafael talks how to scan for dark energies within your body. Watch that. Archangel Raphael channeling. I made a short clip for that under spiritual development. Now you it's every day. It's like, okay, let's find out. Let me try to explain to you why it's so important for you to daily cleanse yourself and purify your energy. Okay, let's see. So when you are, say you can be, okay, okay, this is you here, right? Your body. Now you have layers of clothes you wear every day, right? Now, what would happen is if you wear those same layers of clothes for a whole week? You get kind of stinky, right? I like to be funny sometimes too. Yeah, you would get stinky. Um, you would dirty, right? That clothes would be like stained and dirty and have food on it and whatever germs, and it would be a built up of that whole week and whatever you did. So therefore, is if you don't cleanse and you don't set up force fields of love light every day, it's like you're wearing that same piece of clothing for that X amount of times that you are wearing that and not setting up force fields of love light, not going through a honoring of meditation, going through your body, feeling what feels right, what feels not cleansed, what doesn't, what feels that needs healing. It's like that. You're leaving that layered clothes, layers and layers of dirt on it. And that's kind of gross, right? So treat your body. Your body is a temple. Treat it like that with love and respect. And this is a way that you can start learning how to self-love yourself. Okay. One more question, and then I'm going to go into portals and we're going to end this. How are hooks and implants related to black magic? Okay. Yes. So a lot of these dark energies that we're talking about are definitely related to black magic that would be connected to the Illuminati, the Cabal, and overall, the dark aliens out there in the universe. So this is their way to keep this programmed society in the stuck cycle of repeating over and over these negative cycles. And they all are pieces of those puzzles that they're trying to keep you there. within the black magics. I keep saying magic. So it is adding on to that, and it's keeping you there to maintain that black magic, that it will keep that black magic there. So once there's an opening, for example, we'll go into portals. Portals can be seen like dark magic, because portals, there's good and, first of all, good and negative portals. There's portals that can help bring forth light energy, angelic energies, positivity through. Okay, so you could work with portals sometimes and perhaps change them into positive if you are working throughout the land on portals. Now, then there is a negative portals that we find within people, because basically, for example, I had A.U.R.A. When did I have this? Sometime this week. I can't remember. Okay, so I had an aura. In this aura, this person had a reptilian consciousness in the heart. They couldn't quite detect it, and then finally, when we assisted to helping them find it, once we removed the reptilian consciousness from the heart, the heart was really dark. The light was very dim. We saw a portal. So this portal was feeding this dark reptilian there, so that when the client could not quite detect it and was making it blend in. So these dark portals feed in negative energies, entities. They can feed in reptilian consciousness. It's like a doorway. Like if you have a doorway and they're coming in and out. And then from there, they can throw in like a fish line, a hook. Like that's what portals are there for. So that again, if you remove a hook, then here they come again. What happened? Well, why remove this? Why do I have this again? Well, most likely you have a portal that they were able to just reattach a hook, reinsert a entity. So you got to find those portals and close them. Last thing here is that I really want to talk about, they've been wanting me to talk about, that correlates with this, is that raw house cleansings. We are going to start marketing this. There's going to be an email coming out on this soon. So sign up to my, again, risingphoenixaurora.com website so you can get that email. We're going to talk more in depth about some of the things that, through the email, it will go in detail, some of the things that could be found in homes. So just like you are an energy right here, and you need to go through and cleanse your vibration to maintain your vibration high. And so you could be a clear cleanse channel for others. You never want to be, as a healer, not a cleanse channel for others, because as we know through aura, you can give them, it's like you're contagious. You could give them, it's like a virus. You give them that virus that you're holding of negative AI within you to them. You can give them an entity, and so on. So this is why we talk about why it's so important to clear ourselves so that we can help heal others. We cannot heal others till we heal ourselves. You can, yes, and if you are working through sacred alchemy and you're still working on something, but we teach that with aura and ra, so it would be a process that you would go through to make sure that you could still sacredly heal another and not infringe on their energies. So with a raw house cleansing, very important. So after you've had, so if you had a raw or aura specifically, and you've done what you needed to do every day, you're working hard, and meditation just takes 5-10 minutes to do. Setting up your force fields of love light just takes 5-10 minutes to do. In the morning when you wake up, hours before you go to bed, in the twilight even, it's beautiful time before the sun, when the sun's going down. These are times that you want to be setting intents of these 10-minute force fields. Who doesn't have 10 minutes out of the day? Out of, 16 hours roughly, we're up. No one, does not have 10 minutes of a day. And if you're saying you do, then that is probably something that's influencing you, infringing on you, telling you that you don't have to, telling you that it is not needed, giving you, maybe making you feel exhausted not to do it, infringing on you, putting negative thought forms into you. Remember that scanning that child talked about, it feels like a really, like a pressure in the head, but not nice pressure. It literally feels like a AI like scan, like like that. Sometimes, yeah. Okay. I hope you guys like my sound effects. Um, okay. With the house cleansing. So after you want to cleanse yourself, you want to cleanse your land and your home, because there was a raw that Minnie, my assistant, recently did, which she's phenomenal at it. And there's going to be with that. I'm in the middle of making the directory, which should be up within hopefully less than a week or a week. A directory of raw Reiki healers, so that you can get in contact with them to cleanse your homes. Because in this raw house cleansing, there was a pond in this area, and then there was houses, and this energy, it feels like if you're in this, if you would be one of these people, and I've heard this through several of you, it's like every time you go home, you're exhausted, you're drained, but it's only at home. You're out in the street, you're walking in nature, you feel perfectly fine, but then you come home, you're like, oh, you're done. And it is because this is how this energy of this neighborhood would feel. And this pond held residual energy. Remember, we talked about the Frozen 2, the water retains memory. So it held the pain of the slaughters of the Native Americans. And then also when they went through there was a spirit there that was hung. She was one of those, they claimed she was a witch, but she wasn't. She was a young lady. She was gifted like you and I, and they hung her. So it was carrying all this energy and soaking it up into this memory of this pond and this land of this pain and trauma. And then it had a webbing connecting to all the neighborhood homes. So all these neighborhoods, these homes were probably experiencing like sickness, bad luck. And then there was implants that were connected to the home and into the land, going deep into roots. See, you didn't know about that. There could be implants in homes. There can be negative implants that would be placed within the structure of the etheric energy of the home. Because remember, a home is energy. The walls are soaking in every thought form. It is like a sponge. So the home itself needs a cleansing as well, and removal of entities, implants, negative portals. That there was portals too in this pond that we're talking about that had to be closed off. So overall, like there was hundreds of healings, just hundreds of entities healed because of this one person that chose to do a raw healing on their home. Isn't that beautiful? So thank you to you who did that. For you help not only yourself, your neighbors, and the land, and all those entities that were stuck there. I get emotional when we help people, entities like that and people like that. Oh, yeah, this was a lot more than 30 minutes, I know. But it was needed. Thank you all for being here with me. Thank you for supporting me and my family, because these do take times to be here and giving you this wisdom and knowledge for you, so that you can be inspired, so you can be sovereign within your sovereign energy and understand that you are invincible and no one can overstep your boundaries unless you allow it. And we're giving you this awareness so that you're aware that ways that you cannot allow it, standing strongly in your love. Just like I am here, I believe first and foremost, I am your biggest fan, that I know that you can be here standing strong in your love light and helping yourself and your loved ones and whoever you need to help as the healers that you are. Every one of you is a healer. You are here because of that. Remember that. Remember, activate that within your soul. Thank you for being here. If you want to support these channels, you can support me through patreon.com, the $4.44, and then you get a group meditation, private meditation with our Patreon members there, and live Q&A. You ask me questions there. Thank you for being here. Love you, honor you, and respect you. Subscribe so that we can reach that 6,000 and we can raffle out that aura. Love y'all. Join us at our retreats. Blessings. Thank you, Lily, for your assistance, and anyone else who assisted. Love you. Talk to you later. Bye, loves.